Today we will be reading the operational manual for a hand grease gun. For use with 14-ounce 400cc/397 grams cartridge or 16-ounce 500cc/454 grams bulk capacity. Thank you for purchasing Lumax Grease Gun. By selecting Lumax Grease Gun, you have chosen a high-quality, precision-engineered product which is built for heavy-duty service and a lifetime of performance. Your safety is very important to us. Please read this operational manual carefully. The instructions contained in this manual must be read and understood by the operator prior to operating this equipment. It is important that you read the entire manual to become familiar with the unit before you begin to operate the unit. Please store this operational manual in a safe place for later reference. Lumax lubrication products are precision-engineered tools which are capable of creating pressures well above 10,000 psi, 690 bar. Only professional use assures danger-free operation of these products. Warning: extreme pressure may cause nozzle extension or grease hose to burst. Always follow grease hose instructions and warnings. Keep hands clear of the extension during operation of the grease gun. Be extra careful while working with needlepoint grease adapters and dispensers. Keep your hands away from the needle point at all times and when injecting grease. Maintain your equipment periodically and check before each use that all connections are securely fastened. High working pressures may result in liquid being injected into flesh upon malfunction of one of the components. Only use components that show no indications of damage. While working on the grease gun barrel, make certain that the open, threaded barrel end always points away from yourself or others. Never touch a hose that is under pressure. Never point the outlet at yourself or others. Hoses are subject to rapid aging. Never use a hose that is older than 2 years. Hoses must never be bent or twisted with force. The smallest bending radius for hose is 4 inches. 100 millimeters. Seek immediate medical care after an injury. Warning: safety first. For your own protection, read, understand, and observe these safety tips and all instructions before using this product. Grease guns should only be used as recommended. Any tool can fail if it is misused. To avoid serious personal injury when using your grease gun, follow these safety tips and rules. Do not use grease gun for the purpose it is not intended for. Do not force use grease gun. It will do the job better and safer at the rate for it was intended. Never use handle extensions to increase leverage. Never try to stop or deflect material from dispensing end of the grease gun with your hand or body. Always wear appropriate protective clothing and equipment. Do not wear loose clothing or jewelry. They can be caught in moving parts. Protective gloves and non-skid footwear are recommended when working on grease gun. Approved guards and protective equipment such as impact-resistant safety glasses, safety or chemical splash goggles, full face shield, safety shoes, arm guards, and apron must be used for operator protection. Wear protective hair covering to contain long hair. Always ensure there is adequate lighting in the work area. Do not overreach. Keep proper footing and balance at all times. Use respirator. Always wear proper face mask to avoid inhalation of fumes and hazardous gases. Stay alert. Watch what you are doing. Use common sense. Do not operate grease gun when you are tired or under the influence of any medications. Be alert at all times, especially during repetitive, monotonous operations. You may have demonstrated a certain product hundreds of times, but do not be lulled into complacency due to a false sense of security. Tools can be extremely unforgiving if not used carefully and as per instructions. Keep visitors away. All visitors should be kept away from work area. Do not let visitors operate grease gun. Check damaged parts. Before use of the grease gun, always check it for proper operation before each use and make sure all safety devices are in place and operating properly. Always make sure all grease connections are securely tightened. Carefully check for any damaged parts to determine that the grease gun will operate properly and perform its intended function. Check for alignment of moving parts, binding of moving parts, breakage of parts, mounting, and any other conditions that may affect its operation. Any part that is damaged should be properly repaired or replaced by an authorized service center. Maintain grease guns with care. Keep grease gun clean and regularly serviced or maintained for better and safe performance. Follow instructions for lubricating and changing accessories. Do not attempt to repair or disassemble the equipment while the system is pressurized. Inspect grease gun periodically, and if grease gun or any of its parts are damaged, have it repaired by an authorized service facility. Always keep your grease gun inspected and replace immediately if damaged or worn. Do not alter or modify any part of this equipment. Grease guns must only be repaired by qualified technicians. Store idle tool. When not in use, grease guns should be stored in dry, high, and/or in locked up place. Childproof the grease gun and work area. Always check local area laws and ordinances regarding handling, pumping, and disposing of liquids. Dispose of pumped fluid properly. Do not drain into street drains, house drains, or backyards. Contact your local municipal waste management officials for proper disposal methods. If there is any question about a condition being safe or unsafe, do not operate the grease gun. Grease filling. Operating instructions. The grease gun can use a lubricant cartridge or be filled with grease from bulk container or with a filler pump. Refer to grease filling instructions below. Wipe grease fittings clean before lubricating. Remove any old grease and/or dirt that might get into the equipment to be lubricated. Push coupler onto grease fitting at a slight angle. The coupler attaches easier at a slight angle than when centered. Center coupler on the grease fitting. Operate lever handle to lubricate, taking care not to damage seals by excessive pressure or lubricant volume. After lubricating, turn the coupler at a slight angle to release the grip of coupler jaws from the grease fitting. A. How to suction load your grease gun. 1. Unscrew the head assembly from the barrel of the grease gun. See Figure 1. Pack head with grease. See Figure 2. 2. Insert the open end of the barrel below the surface of the grease. See Figure 3. 3. Slowly pull the plunger rod, follower rod, while pushing the barrel deeper into the grease to prevent air pockets from being pulled into the barrel. 4. When the rod is fully extended, the plunger rod locks into place with posi-stop plunger lock. 5. Unscrew the head assembly onto the barrel. Tighten the head assembly securely. See Figure 4. 6. Unlock the plunger rod from the end cap by releasing the plunger lock. This would push the plunger rod into the barrel. A. How to suction load your grease gun. 7. Prime the gun. Priming is the act of removing air and introducing grease into the grease gun's pumping mechanism. When filling the grease gun, it is very important to prevent air pockets and to purge any air that may be trapped in the barrel. Caution: air pockets in the lubricant will cause the lever grease gun to lose its prime. Prime the grease gun while pressing the air bleeder valve to vent air pockets in the grease chamber. In most cases, the grease gun will prime simply by operating the lever handle several times. Should grease fail to appear, the head assembly must be bled. 8. Pump the lever handle several times until grease flows from the coupler. B. How to bulk load your grease gun using a grease filler pump. This procedure applies to all Lumax grease guns except LX1100 and LX1112. All Lumax grease guns are equipped, except LX1100 and LX1112, with a filler nipple, bulk loader fitting, on the head. Caution: the filler nipple on the grease gun must mate with the loader coupler on the pump. The pump may not operate if the components are not compatible. Warning: the grease gun is equipped with a low-pressure filler nipple. Do not substitute with a high-pressure grease fitting. Personal injury can occur due to excessive pressure. The use of a grease fitting will also void the warranty. 1. Wipe the filler nipple with a clean cloth. 2. Push the plunger rod, follower rod, all the way into the barrel of the grease gun. 3. Insert the filler nipple into the loader coupler on the pump and extend the lever handle away from the barrel. See Figure 5. 4. Operate the pump until the grease gun barrel is full of grease. The plunger rod will be fully extended when the barrel is full. 5. Remove the filler nipple from the loader coupler on the pump. 6. Unlock the plunger rod from the end cap by releasing the plunger lock. This would push the plunger rod into the barrel. 7. Refer to point A, 7, above. C. How to load your grease gun with a lubricant cartridge. 1. Unscrew the head assembly from the barrel of the grease gun. See Figure 1. Pack head with grease. See Figure 2. Pull back the plunger rod. When the rod is fully extended, the plunger rod locks into place with posi-stop plunger lock. 3. Remove the plastic cap from the end of grease cartridge and insert open end first into the barrel of grease gun. See Figure 6. 4. Push the grease cartridge into the barrel until the rim of the pull tab end contacts the rim of the barrel. See Figure 7. Then remove the pull tab seal from the end of the grease cartridge. See Figure 8. 5. Screw the head back onto the barrel. Tighten the head assembly securely. See Figure 4. 6. Unlock the plunger rod from the end cap by releasing the plunger lock. This would push the plunger rod into the barrel. 7. Refer to point A, 7, above. 8. Pump the lever handle several times until grease flows from the coupler. Troubleshooting chart. Problem: gun will not dispense grease. Possible cause: 1. Grease cartridge or barrel is empty. 2. Air is trapped in the grease gun head. Solution: replace the grease cartridge or refill the barrel. Expel the trapped air while pressing the air bleeder valve and pushing the plunger, follower, rod handle. Problem: grease cartridge will not empty completely. Also, if you are not sure whether the cartridge is completely empty or not. Possible cause. Tabs on rod are binding to rubber plunger assembly. Solution. Connect the rod to the rubber plunger assembly. Push the rod into the barrel as far as it will go to move the grease forward. Measure the rod handle from the end cap on the barrel to the tip of the rod handle. If the measurement is more than 1 3/4 inches, the grease cartridge is not empty. If not completely empty, disconnect rod from rubber plunger assembly after grease has been pushed forward. Problem. Grease leakage visible between barrel and head assembly. Possible cause. Initial tightening of barrel into head assembly not sufficient, or the rubber seal inside the head assembly is damaged or missing. Solution. Tighten barrel into head assembly securely or replace the rubber seal. Problem. Grease leakage visible at extension or at head assembly. Possible cause. 1. Initial tightening of extension into head assembly and or coupler not sufficient. 2. Filler nipple may be loose. 3. Worn or damaged piston and or bore in head assembly. 4. Worn air bleeder valve O-ring. Solution. Tighten extension into head assembly and coupler into the extension. Tighten filler nipple into head assembly securely. Replace O-ring or air bleeder valve.